let's move into the instructional design basics. So module 2. Today we'll finish up this session, like whole module 2. Uh, Almost we have still 2 hours. This is again, it's a very basic thing, basic terminologies, terms that are been used into the instructional design. Now, please take a pen and paper whenever I say note it down, or if you want to note it down, you can take it down. Okay, it's a good practice that keep those things. Along with that, you will be having videos and session PPT will be there. Because sometime whatever I'll be explaining, that will be not be there on the presentation, will be not there on the slides. So these are the 5 elements of learning in instructional design. Whenever you are learning in the instructional design, these are the 5 elements: drive, stimulus and cues, then response, reinforcement, rewards. Okay, so what are these? Like, have to drive the things, then have to be like very responsive things, what I just wanted to do, then reinforcement should be there, and rewards are also included. These are the basic 5 elements that you have to include, or that you have to know about when you are learning in instructional design. Okay, now learning phases, this is also one of the very key important. Okay, what are the things that will be included, where it is, how we include these phases. Okay, first one is review, learning, adoption, and application. Okay, learning should include these important 4 phases. But what we are doing, we are just throwing out some courses, and we are asking someone to go through that courses, and at the last we are using some evaluation methods. Okay, so that should not be the way of learning phases. The learning should include the 4 important phases: review, learning, application, and adoption. Now, what exactly review is? Review means before I assign some courses to somebody else, before my learning begins, I have to set that context and help the learners to bridge the prior and new knowledge. For example, I ask you people, for example, I ask Pujita to learn some data science. No, I have to set her, I have to make her mind to learn that thing. Yes. Why you want to learn data science? Yes, this is the thing. This is in my organization that changes is going to happen. And that's the reason you need to learn this basic thing. And for that, I'm providing you this content. When you create that review, when you create that awareness, when you create that knowledge among them, then only the person makes himself to get involved in that learning process. So as an instructional designer, you must review why I am preparing this content, why I am preparing these set of learnings for my learners. You have to review it. It's not only that somebody comes and tell you that please prepare this one, you just go here and there. No, you have to understand why and what are the basic requirements for those learnings. You need to tell your manager, or you need to tell your the supervisor, yes, I can prepare it, but as you said, these are the things for them, these are the basic prerequisites. Are they having that? If they are not having, so we have to focus on that, then we can jump into our main course of learning. So this is what the review is. Next, learning. What learning they want. So proceed to the actual learning, the content, concept, procedures, process, principle. Why I have included the concept, procedures, process, principle means different industries focus on different things. Service industries focus only towards the process. Okay, product-based industries focus towards their product and the development of their product. My learning should be according to that. Understand? That's the reason these four phases are important. So what actual content is the concept? If I'm into the R&D, or if my organization is more towards the development, or it's more towards something the R&D kind of works, then I should work on the principles. What kind of principles they use it? What are the principles that they adopt? Those kind of learning should be provided by me to my learners. This is the second phase. One more phase is adoption. How to provide opportunities to apply the newly acquired knowledge and skills. Like my learning phase should be in such a way that they have to adopt that whatever the key things they have taken from my learning, that the previous phase, whatever the things they have taken, they have to implement it. If I learn in order to reduce errors in my process error-free process, then I have to adopt that one, adopt them. And application. Explain how they how they will apply their new knowledge at the workplace. These are the four phases that is going to help us in any organization. But what we are failing, where many people are failing in the learning is they uh, just throw out some developments or the content they ask us to read out. But without knowing what things to be given, are they having the prior knowledge on that one? How the learning should go, how they adopt, how they apply. Without having these things in a mind, many organizations rolling out the courses for their learners or their employees, and that's a reason that is not creating good impact. And that's why now they wanted specialized instructional designers in the organization who knows all these things. Getting my point? Why the instructional design now playing important role is, I think you might be not done this thing. Your subject matter expert given you some content, you have prepared it and you have submitted to your manager. Yes, my work is done. But it's not only preparing yourself, even you have to involve it and you have to tell it. Who are my audience? That's what I said, no, know your audience. If your audience are the newbies, then your things will be different. Even though the four things will be followed, but it will be different. Okay. So what are the four phases? One is review, learning, adoption, and application. Okay, adaptation and application. These are the four important phases of why, what, how, now. Next, the process broadly has the three phases. Okay, so again, the process, because here we saw the learning the phase, but in a basic learning development process. Okay, in a basic learning development process, we have three phases. Preparation phase. Okay, now the first phase in the process, in learning development process, learning development, what exactly the learning development means? The entire process from beginning to end thing, which includes my materials to that how learner, like how we are learning right now. That's entire process is the basic learning development process, which includes the three things. One is pre-preparation phase, the iterative design phase, and iterative development. These are the three important phases. Now, in a pre-preparation phase, we gather all relevant information for that instruction or for that learning. Even though my subject matter expert provide me all the information, all the data, what has to be placed in that course, what has to be placed in that learning, but my duty, I have to gather some other knowledges. Okay. Then we can proceed with project planning and prototype development and to go to the development phase after the client signs off. What exactly this means? This is, as you said, it's a skeleton, or I can say that it is a script. Like before we see the movie, there will be a script. Okay, so this will be initial, there will be 5 songs, there will be fighting scene, there will be, he'll be hero, he'll be heroine. This is complete structure they follow. For example, initially there will be some prerequisite modules, there will be this module, after this your learner is going to learn this, then again one phase of evaluation will float it down, again there will be some self-assessment, self-learning, then again trainer based learning. So some structure you filled out, some design you make it out. That is what the iterating the design phase. Then when you prepare that skeleton, then you present it to your teams or your client. Then if they agree or if they want some changes, no, this might takes some time for me. So can we change it to this phase, because our learners are not into this way of learning. Then if you want to modify, then change. Then iterative development phase, we develop the course and release the alpha, beta, and gold version of the course. Okay, what these alpha, beta version, then again we see that when we exactly go into the designing. Okay, so there I can see that when you, I think I'll just take with some example. When any new app is launched, okay, or any new car is launched, they will run some trial runs with some base models, then again next version, then again the top model. So that kind of version, when how they accept it, no, based upon that they will release those versions. Yeah. So what are the 3 phases? Pre-preparation, iterative design phase, iterative development phase. These are the 3 important basic development in a learning development process. Now the instructional design models. Okay, this is very important. One more key task. What is instructional design model? Before we get into exactly what the instructional design, let's understand, let's study the instructional design models are like. What exactly the instructional design models are? Is it something that there is some principle is there, or something we have to work it within that kind of things? That we'll understand. Okay, an instructional design model provides the guidelines to organize appropriate pedagogical scenarios, okay, to achieve instructional goals. It means that, as I said, no, we have to understand vision and mission. Why I have said in the previous slide is because if I am developing for my organization, I know if I'm developing these things for my client, then I have to provide a guidelines to organize appropriate pedagogies to achieve that goals. Like whatever my right things are there, right information, right methods are there, I have to understand those things in order to achieve my instructional goals. Yeah, can be defined as practice of creating instructional experience to help or facilitate the learning most effectively. Okay, it can be also defined as the practice of creating the instruction. See, the instruction design, the simple word, when I say in a layman language, giving directions with some good kind of design. Okay, so either it may become from your experience or that helps us in facilitating to learn effectively. Okay, next, the Clarence states that the design is more than a process. That process and resulting product represent the framework of thinking. See, I'll take one example on this one. So we see the luxurious cars, okay, that is done by after so many processes. Before that, there will be a design. So design is more important. If I don't have that design in my mind, how can I develop that? Okay, for example, if I have something, yes, for my K-12 segment for science model, I need to create these things. I need to use some hard. If I'm explaining about the hard, I need to use that, like the, what we can say, that the blood system or the nervous system. That's a process, like how do all these things work. But I have to keep that design in my mind. I have to explain it individually, or I have to explain my whole system. So that design plays a very important role. So design is more important than the process that we are following in the development. Okay. Now, characteristics of instructional design models. The following are the characteristics that should be present in each and every, not only I can say that in every instructional design model. Okay. It should be learner centered. I am a subject matter expert. I am an instructional. मुझे कैसा लगता है, I will prepare that. I don't bother others what they think. I am feeling easy, I will put these things. No, this should not happen. Whether you understand or you don't understand, that doesn't matter here. What is my aim? The one who is using the work, he has to understand that. So it should be learner centered. Again, very important one point I just wanted to tell you why learner centered is, because people will be working in a large organization. Thousands of people will be working. There will be a people from the uh, floor labor workers to top management workers. Now, whatever learnings that we will be providing is not only focused on the management or the team leads or some managers. When learning is provided for the low floor workers, it should be in that manner. It should be centered to them. They have to understand that. Okay. Next, it should be goal oriented. Yes, obviously, it should be a goal oriented. Like, if I learn these things, I will able to achieve this. I will get to know this, and I will achieve these things in my work. Understanding my point? That should be goal oriented. Next, it should be focused on real world class performance. What the performance, like what exactly it is going on in the industry, the learning should be focusing on that area. It doesn't mean that something I'm learning and which is not going to impact my current performance. So it should be on the real world class performance. Next, it should focus on outcome. Again and again, I was saying in the beginning itself, I concentrate on the outcome based education. Okay. So it should be focused on outcomes that can be measured in a reliable and in a valid way. Okay. Means whenever I measure my learnings, it should be valid. It should be reliable. Yes. These all things that happen. This is going to help me out. And this is valid for my current process. That way I have to create it. Then it should be empirical. Should be empirical. These are the some characteristics that the instruction design model should be present or included whenever I'm designing. Yeah. I think, guys, this is more about the basic things, and it's also very important. So again, when we dive into more deeper into the instruction modules and the developments, these are the basic essentials. Now, as I said, no, the characteristics of an instruction design models, here is something. Okay. Assume that we are focusing towards the student, then it should be a student centered or the learner centered. Okay, it should be student. Instruction should be goal oriented. Instruction design is a focus and meaningful performance. And instruction design should be outcome based. It should be empirical, interactive, and self correcting. Yes, this is where I need to be. This is how I need to be. Okay. Then the last pointer was instructional design is typically a team effort. It's not only one person cannot do. There will be a subject expert, there will be a video developer, there will be the graphic designer, and again, you will assign and you will assemble all those things. So there are a lot of things to be included in the model. Yeah. I just want to float one question here. Okay. How you will make the my learning to be interactive? How you will think that it should be made interactive? It will be made interactive. How the learning, for example, not every time we are following the classroom sessions in my organization for the training. Most of the time we assign the self learning. We'll create and we'll assign some models for them. They will go through them. How you think that this interactive, like the instruction design should be interactive? How you may think that we can
Uh,
make it as an interactive? What are the based upon that? That pop-uping question will be such that uh, the same thing what we have learned, it is that will create more interactive, engaging, like will be active. Okay, so that next time when you are watching that thing, rather than giving assessment, like they think that when I go to complete all the video, just skip, then we'll go and do the assignment at the last. That will be not helpful. Let them be a like open book exam, so that they will be having that fairness. Yes, soon after this end of the session, there will be a pop up, and that pop up question, they such a way they have made it that in between your content, wherever it pop ups, just before that, their question will be asked. For example, now we have learned the characteristics. Suddenly here the pop up will come. That question pop up, that will be question will be asked on the characteristics of this instructional design. Understanding? Next, in the same video, if I'm talking something, the question will be pop up in that one. Even I wanted to learn the how they are using some the AI kind of things. So in order to make that effective, that sounds good. So that everyone will be engaged in the learning throughout the session. I'll just get to know that what exactly they are using, how they are creating that, but obviously they will not say. Uh, the next very important, the instruction design models. Like following are the instructional models are most widely accepted and popular. That is ADDI, ADDIE's model, then Assure, then Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is used more into academics. Okay, uh, into academics they use that there will be level one, L1, L2, L3, L4, L6 learning levels. Like that's a Bloom's taxonomy. Institutions they are following. Some institutions they are like it depends on the what way they are learning and what they are learning content, like what area of learning was there. Then Kemp design model, the Kirkpatrick models. I worked on the Kirkpatrick model as well as Bloom taxonomy. I have the knowledge because I worked on those things. EDI model currently I'm using, and we are also working currently. I'm working on some developing new models because uh, uh, I'm working with the US clients, no, so they are working on something new models. They are coming up, and if I get it that chance, I'll include this in this one. It's still in the phase, into preparation phase. Then TPAC. So these are the some basic like important which are commonly, and it doesn't mean that I'm an instruction designer, I have to follow all those things. Why? Not everything is going to fit for my organization. For some service industries, the learning models will be different. That kind of things will be used. The product base, it will be different. So, and for the manufacturing industry, it will be different. For the academics, it will be different. So, based upon that, so it varies. The implementation varies. And why I should have these knowledge? Because today I might be here, I'm following this. Tomorrow I might be working on different areas. So that helped me to understand each and every model that will going to push my career in the good position. Here are the models. Okay. So in first one, that is Aries model, that is analyze, design, development,
implement.
implementation, and evaluation. This is the thing that is followed. What is the analyze? The exactly means like, uh, is it analyzing the whole model, or it is only analyzing my people for the or the learners abilities, or the what things to be given for my learners? Because if I analyze whole model, then it becomes evaluation. It's not my analyze. correct? So
Yeah.
analyze means we are learning now what exactly I want to learn in my uh, learning phase, what they want, how that can be implemented. That should be analyzed. Okay, whether it will going to be effective and how that effective is measured again by the evaluation. That will be a last phase. Then design, obviously design has to be made, like what structure, whether it should be a self-paced, whether it should be a trainer-led, whether it should be a the flashcard kind of learning, whether it should be. Then development, like whatever the design that we have framed out for my learning, for my employees, I'll develop that one. And implementing, like whatever the learning that they follow, how they are implementing it, and then evaluating that learning. Okay. Now, what evaluation that we follow? Sometimes it depends on the organization to organization. So now in evaluation, most of the people follow like they follow the multiple choice of questions, like whatever the learnings that followed before they implement it, and they evaluate the whole model. Sometimes scenario based thing, sometimes they follow like the results or the data driven, what's the changes, what was the happened, how it is affecting, and sometimes the outcome. That's all the things will be done in the evaluation method. Now the next one is Bloom's taxonomy. I think you people know aware it. Those who have worked in academics, you already know that one. This is a very commonly framed out, but again the Bloom's taxonomy, in the corporate sector it is different, and in academics it is different. Most of the things right now, if I see in corporate sector, the openings are there, but in very streamlined, very less opportunities. But in K-12 segment, in that, like every schools, colleges, they are going towards the digital education. So there is a lot of opportunities over there. So then it will be very helpful for you. Creating, evaluation, analyzing, applying, and understanding, and remembering. So these are the things they will be following like this upward direction. Okay. This Bloom's taxonomy, creating comes at the last, like when I have all these knowledges, then I create. Like for example, I have remembering, like L1 learning, L2, L3, L4, L5, L6. They follow these levels. Okay. Then what is that L1, L2? I think Kaustav, you know about this now. So they will be calling this as an L1, L2, L3, L4. Okay. These are the levels, like this is L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, and L6. Yes. Then the Kirkpatrick's training evaluation model. This is most commonly used in among many of industries. This is because it's very simple model. Hardly 4 steps. One is reaction, learning, behavior, and result. This also flows in the upward direction itself. Now, reaction means like how the people are going on that one, how with the current process, how people are reacting, how people are working on that one, that will be followed. Then based upon that, I will impose the learning or the trainings. Okay. Then again, how the participants use that learning and how they behave in the training things, that will be taken out. Then we focus on the results, like the outcome of that results of the learning, how they are going to get it. This is a very commonly used in my previous organization. We are following this Kirkpatrick's, and right now we are following entirely new thing. We wanted to develop our own way because we are catering into some different segments. So this is most commonly used method. Uh, then Kemp model, okay, which includes a 4 area of segments. Okay, it's a cycle. Again, I have to start with a downward, then reaction, then again learning, behavioral. That's the reason because I take an example for where we using these things, especially in the Kirkpatrick models are used in the sales industries, especially in the cold callings and all those things that most commonly used. What I have seen, they are following this model because there is no lot of changes has to be done, just only reaction, learning, behavior, result. If it is not working, again they will come the reaction, what is the why that's not happening, what is happened with that training, then again learning, then again behavior, again the result. This Kirkpatrick's model is most commonly used in the industries like the cold calling, like nowadays most of the ethics. I think you people know about the sales they are doing, the dialing and all those things. So there it is going to be more and more. Yeah.